RFK has had these views for a very long time. Why does his pushing of them now and pushing them to the CDC make so much more of a difference?
So RFK has been kind of skeptical of vaccines for a long time, and ever since he kind of took office as Secretary of Health, which was in the spring, he has really quite systematically undermined vaccines and vaccine confidence and vaccine availability in the US and replaced panels and all the rest of it. What happened this weekend is that the CDC, so the Centers for Disease Control, which is kind of the gold standard source of health information in the US, published a footnote on its website. So during his confirmation hearings, he promised Senator Cassidy, who's a Republican senator and also medically trained, that he would not change the CDC position that vaccines do not cause autism. And that is the overwhelming scientific consensus that vaccines and autism are not linked. There is huge amounts of evidence for this. So what he did is that statement still stands, and he put a little asterisk and put a footnote, and basically he's changed the CDC website to say that there could be a link, basically creating doubt. And why this is so dangerous is because, if you can't trust .gov, then who do you trust? And effectively, you're now in a situation where for decades, those were the gold standard sources of information, and now they're not. And it's an incredibly powerful pulpit, because then what you're doing is you're forcing accurate scientific information to be fragmented across different groups, different people, and it's not clear to people who don't know that space who to trust and who to believe. And so what you're doing is you're really undermining vaccine confidence, muddying the waters, and that will have the effect of driving down uptake of vaccines. And it's really sad, and children will die because of it. I mean, that sounds exaggerated, but it's not exaggerated. There's no evidence that vaccine causes autism, but loads of evidence for, say, measles causing illness and death. So I just want to tell people this, right? So the measles vaccine was introduced in the US in the 1960s. Before that, there were 3 million cases of measles in children every single year. And almost 50,000 of those children went to hospital, and about 500 of them died every single year. In the 3 years since the measles vaccine was introduced in the 1960s, cases fell by 95%. Right? In 2000, there was no measles in the US. None. It was eliminated. It's one of the biggest success stories of the modern era. Right? And it's since returned because vaccine uptake has been falling because of the conspiracy theories pushed by people like RFK Jr. So this year in the US, it's been one of the worst years in years, and there were 1,700 cases, 200 children hospitalised, and 3 children have died. More children will die the more people do not trust those vaccines, and those vaccines have saved millions and millions of lives.